Hi everyone, welcome back to the Reset Mantra. It's your host Sabina Maharzan, and today's episode is a special one. It's our final episode of the year. As we wrap up 2023, I wanted to take a moment to reflect on this year of growth, healing, and rediscovery. This has been a year of unlearning, relearning, and resetting. Something many of you know is the core of this podcast. I have been so grateful for your support and for this beautiful community that we're building together. Some of you have DM'd me asking about my journey, why I started this podcast, what brought me here, and how I've navigated or navigating the challenges of restarting my life in my 30s. Today, I'll share a little bit about something close to my heart, my journey of feeling stuck in my 30s and the profound reset that transformed my life. If you've ever felt like you're at a crossroads, unsure of your next steps, or questioning the life you've built, you're not alone. This episode is for anyone searching for clarity and courage to reset their life. Today, I'll walk you through my story, what led me to create the Reset Mantra, and the lessons and mantras that helped me turn uncertainty into inspiration. I once read this somewhere. The universe gives you these gentle nudges, whispers to you, but if you don't listen, the universe will intervene and force you out of situations in life. For me, those whispers turned into loud calls for change in my early 30s. Despite a decent career, a seemingly stable life, I felt unfulfilled, misaligned, and stuck in a loop that wasn't serving me. The turning point came when I made one of the hardest decisions of my life, walking away from a decade long relationship. It wasn't just the end of a relationship. It felt like the end of the identity that I'd known for years. That decision, painful as it was, forced me to confront myself on a deeper level. It wasn't about the relationship ending. It was about rediscovering who I was beyond the relationship. The journey wasn't just about healing a breakup. It was about resetting my life and exploring a dimension of my own identity. It became clear that I'd been living on autopilot, conforming to societal expectations rather than tuning into what truly matters to me, and perhaps all of those stem from my fear of being alone. The process of resetting started with embracing the discomfort. I remember feeling completely lost, but also strangely hopeful. I knew this was my opportunity to rebuild intentionally and a second chance at life. In a way, this was time for me to apply all those personal development courses that I'd been taking and the knowledge that I'd been learning along the way and implement them in my own life. And let me tell you, listening, learning, and being inspired is one thing, but facing difficulties and getting through them is a totally different, which I am sure many of you are well aware. But I was prepared to go through any challenges to hit that reset button of my life following the decisions that I made. I started by creating structure in my days. I rejoined the gym, explored breathwork, which I recommend to everyone, and even scheduled time for emotional release, grieving, journaling, and just sitting with my feelings. These moments became pivotal in helping me process the pain and reconnect with myself. During those times, mantras became my guiding light. Now, growing up in South Asia, the concept of mantras is not an alien to me. Back home, mantras are often understood as sacred thoughts or prayers with profound spiritual significance. In Western modern spiritual practices, mantra is used as an intention. In other words, a mantra is an instrument of the mind, a powerful sound, vibration, or thoughts that you can use to enter a deep state of meditation. Traditionally speaking, the concept of a mantra carries a depth and often have no single definition. Some regard mantras as carriers of divine energy to unlock their inner power and to align mind, body, and soul. Now, in the context of the Reset Mantra podcast, I use the term mantra metaphorically to indicate the mental repetition and rehearsal required to unlearn old beliefs and relearn new ones. Both unlearning and relearning require consistent mental rehearsal until they impact our vibration and energy at the cellular level, eventually becoming a habit that doesn't require conscious effort. For example, when I became aware of my negative self talk, I used mantras with intention to override those negative thoughts with positive ones. Whenever I catch myself thinking, I'm not good enough, the first key is self-awareness and acknowledgement of this thought. Every time the thought arose, I countered it with I am enough just as I am, and I kept repeating it. Over the time, this mental rehearsal trained my mind to flip the script on its own. I use this technique even today when I feel fear, anxious, worry, or doubt to remind myself that I am enough just as I am. Now, here are some of the things that shaped my journey this year. In December last year, 2023, I had completed my 10-day Vipassana meditation course that reset my mind and spirit for the year ahead. This experience played a crucial role in satisfying the spiritual hunger that I was deeply craving for. It allowed me to release deeply embedded emotions within my mind, body, my soul, creating a space for a true, fresh start. Life operates under a series of laws, and the law of impermanence gave my anxious nervous system a much needed reset. I came to understand that everything is impermanent, it is forever changing, and our happiness, misery, good days, and bad days, they don't last forever. You're an awareness that experiences life through all this rising and passing of emotions. This realization highlighted me that emotional mastery is the most important skill in my life. Attending an Abraham Hicks event taught me the profound value of trusting the process and embracing the path of least resistance. Often we cling tightly to specific outcomes. We unknowingly create resistance by doing so. This desire to control situations and dictate how things should be or should unfold can lead to frustration and disappointment. And as adults, many of us are not taught how to self regulate. When faced with challenges or setbacks, we often struggle because we lack the tools to maintain balance and resilience. Yet, true emotional mastery doesn't come from avoiding experiences, it comes from living through them. In Nepal, there's an old saying, "पढेर होइन, पढेर जानिन्छ," which means one cannot truly learn by studying, one must experience it to understand. This realization struck a deep chord within me. Life lessons aren't delivered through instructions or manuals, they're felt, endured, and observed through lived experiences. By letting go of resistance and trusting life's flow, I found a sense of freedom and clarity that allowed me to approach challenges with greater grace. Another key to moving forward is keeping yourself engaged in productive activities. Learning something new, challenging yourself, or filling your time with meaningful activities. I found that replacing free time with a meaningful skill or a hobby or a passion was more aligned with what I needed. For me, it was about doing something that would not only occupy my mind, but also add value to my life. That's when I decided to join Jiu Jitsu. The idea of learning self defense as a newly single person felt practical, but it was so much more than that. It became a way to turn my pain into power. Jiu Jitsu challenged me physically and mentally, helping me rediscover my inner strength. Each class reminded me that every skill you learn, no matter how small, makes you feel good about yourself and contributes to your growth. And little by little, the small wins add up and they're worth so much more than we often realize. Find a passion project that truly challenges you, something you've always wanted to do but never had the courage to pursue. The real turning point for me came when I realized I needed to dig deeper beyond the roles I'd grown comfortable playing in my life. And that's when the idea of starting this podcast, something that had lingered in the back of my mind for years, began to take shape. I remember looking at a sticky note in my office with a quote that read, "Done is better than perfect." That mantra became my driving force. Recording my first episode was messy, imperfect, but it reminded me of a simple truth. progress matters more than perfection. Taking those first steps, however small, was the beginning of something meaningful, and it taught me that the courage to start is often the hardest but most rewarding part of any journey. As the months unfolded, those experiences became the foundation of a new way of living. I learned to let go of attachment to outcomes, embrace gratitude, and trust in the divine timing of life. This year taught me that growth often requires letting go of people, patterns, and even parts of ourselves that no longer serve us. Starting over in my 30s wasn't easy. Society tells us we should have it all figured out by now, but the truth is, life isn't linear. It's a constant cycle of unlearning and relearning. This year, I learned that healing is a daily practice. Whether it's meditating, journaling, or spending time in nature, it's the small, consistent actions that build a life aligned with your highest self. Starting over in my 30s wasn't easy, especially with societal stereotypes telling me I should be married with kids by now, but I realized that life isn't a checklist. It's a journey of discovery, and we're all on our own unique path, and we all have different timings. Creating this podcast gave me a new sense of purpose. It connected me to my childhood dream of being a talk show host. I was really inspired by Oprah back then. And still today, I am. And it's reminded me that the magic we seek externally is actually within us. The love, happiness, and safety we crave can only truly be found when we cultivate them inside ourselves. It's about peeling back the layers of conditioning to reconnect with ourselves. Hence, through my podcast, I aim to bring heart-centered, authentic conversations with insightful experts and guests from diverse backgrounds, aiming to share stories, conversations, on transcending limiting beliefs and resetting our lives so we can live in alignment with our true self. As we close out this episode and this year, I want to thank each one of you for being part of the Reset Mantra community. Your support, your messages, and your stories inspire me every day. If there's one thing I hope you take from today's episode, it's this: you have the power to reset your life at any moment. The journey isn't always easy, but it's worth it, and so are you. Here's to 2024, a year of growth, alignment, and finding the magic within yourself. Keep on learning, relearning, and resetting. Wish you all a beautiful and transformative year ahead. Until next time, take care and keep shining.